You know the picture most full-time RVers paint, the freedom of that open road just stretching out into the perfect sunset. It's a beautiful story. It's just not the whole story.
What you don't see is how the numbers can add up really quickly when something or when everything goes wrong.
Right, we're going to be sharing the numbers at the end of this video, and it completely shocked us, and we think it's going to completely shock you as well. If you saw our last video, you know that after over 2 years of dealing with what we thought were slide issues, our 2022 Grand Design Imagine travel trailer was recently diagnosed with frame failure. We asked our community of over 250,000 on Facebook if they would be interested in seeing the real, raw truth of what RV life looks like as we are going through this challenging season. So we're sharing it all in this video, from being displaced from our RV for over 5 weeks so far this year, to several other things that we had no idea were about to happen.
So it's really an overwhelming process to have to move your entire life, especially when everything we own is in this RV. We have to move all of our food, all of our healthcare products, everything has to go with us. Our computers, we're still working full time, so all of this stuff has to go.
We are working opposite schedules right now, so juggling all of this meant him taking some unpaid time off, getting into work late, me having to use PTO, us juggling leaving at 4 in the morning, going after work, just crazy stuff. And in addition to that, it's never what they tell you it's going to be. The one thing that we have missed the most in the 5 weeks that we've been without this RV this year has been this RV mattress. This thing is amazing. This is home to us. This is so comfortable.
We have the Signature Hybrid Queen with the cloud pillow top, and it's in the medium firmness. And I honestly can say this is the most comfortable mattress ever. Now, could I say that this has actually helped me sleep better? I don't think so, because I could sleep standing up. Falling asleep for me and staying asleep is not an issue. But I could say this has been a huge improvement for you.
Absolutely. The comfort level of this with my knee, hip, back issues just from knee surgery has definitely been a game changer. I am able to get comfortable and I'm able to sleep soundly. It's wonderful.
As a full-time RVer, having a high quality mattress with us, no matter where we go, is priceless. Now, when we first started out, we had your standard mattress that comes with your RV, and we would have to put those foam toppers on. I think we had to replace
2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
it was, yeah.
Because they would just wear out. They were not comfortable at all. And this mattress is a game changer.
If you're not sure what you will like in an RV mattress, the best part is they have a 120-night sleep trial, which is awesome. We actually, for a second, thought we might need to switch ours out, but we just gave it the full time and we actually fell in love with it. But you might have an adjustment period, and that's totally okay. They also ship for free to your door, which is incredible. You don't have to haul it around. And when we got it, we were in Arizona, so it was kind of extra special for us because their factory is in Arizona, and it was just fun to know that. We love our RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, and we know you would too. If you want this level of comfort, check out rvmattress.com, and you can click the link below or go to rvmattress.com/whynotwander, or use code whynotwander for 30% off.
So in addition to all these issues, you never expect anything else could go wrong. Well, it does.
Matt was at work and I was actually working remotely here in the RV, and I started to smell a burning metal smell. Now, this is a couple days before we're supposed to leave to take the RV for the frame failure.
So let me back up just a little bit. After we purchased the unit in Florida, 3 days later, the thermal cutoff blew. We had to take the RV back down to the dealer an hour, and they had to replace that for us. Now, at that time, it was a known issue, and they actually had extras on hand because of that. When I talked to Dometic about Laurie smelling the wires were burned up and we didn't have power to our hot water tank. They sent us a wiring kit. I pulled the hot water tank out, rewired it, put it back together. We still don't have a working hot water tank. We've also had 2 boards go bad on this same hot water heater, and had to have a mobile RV tech come to our site in Florida and repair 2 boards. That's an ongoing issue that we're still dealing with. We currently don't have hot water in our RV.
So as we mentioned in our frame failure video, we found water damage and mold in our dinette area. And we were attributing it to the potential frame failure, the deflection of the unit in the rear. But Grand Design asked us on our dime to take it to an authorized service center because they were saying this is out of warranty. This is something that you need to take care of. They need to assess why you have water damage. So we took it to an authorized service center. Again, we're talking more time off of work, more time to travel, just more inconvenience. So we did that. And they were not able to determine the source of the water damage. So we ended up spending over $250 to have them assess it, and we walked away with 0 answers.
So as we're preparing to take the RV an hour up to Michigan to have that checked out, I hooked the truck to the RV, and as I stepped through to get in the truck, my jacket pocket caught the tongue switch that raises and lowers your tongue and ripped it off. I didn't know that at the time. We drove up there, and when they asked us to drop the RV, I went back to lower the tongue, and the switch was broken off. So
they take us into the store and they show us a brand new tongue jack as an option. It's like $400, and we're looking at each other like, are you kidding me right now? So we ended up not doing it. Thankfully, so grateful to them. They ended up pulling one of those tongue jack the day before on a different unit that they didn't need anymore. So they were able to take the switch off and put it on ours. And we are so grateful for that. We still walked away from that with that added repair. So the total for that day was $360. So it's Saturday morning, and we have a message from a vice president of one of the departments at Grand Design. They had seen our YouTube video, and they were wanting to connect us with somebody in the customer support department. They did not know who we are. Like we said in our first video, we don't use our influence. We can't stand that word. We don't use that against any company. The reason we did the frame failure video was because we needed to do that to bring awareness to this whole situation, because we can't stand behind all of this anymore. They sent us a message because they saw the video. And so they were saying, how can we help? Again, remembering they had not offered to help us prior to knowing who we were. We still have to move everything into the hotel. And then Monday morning, we are leaving to head to Lippert to drop off our RV. And we decided to go with a king suite so that we could have an area to have our kitchen stuff, because we are pretty limited on what we can eat. So we need to try to eat as much as we can of our own food. Matt will have a desk so that he can keep editing. And then we went with the suite because I am working remotely and I will also be kind of stuck here for the week. So just to have a little bit of room to spread out. What time is it?
4:47.
We're actually running late.
Oh, we're 15 minutes late. But smooth sailing from here.
Just a little over 2.5 hours, and we'll be dropping it off at Lippert.
We had to leave early that morning because I had to work that day. She had to work that afternoon. We were trying to drop the RV off as soon as Lippert opened so that we could get back for me to get to work. And we got into the parking lot, shut the truck off, got everything taken care of. Lippert told us to drop the unit and we could hit the road. Go to start the truck. Truck would not start. At this point, there was just this overwhelming feeling of frustration, just due to everything we've been dealing with. So we had to call a wrecker to come pick up the truck.
The guy at Lippert was very, very kind to us. He was so wonderful. Said, we will get you wherever you need to go. We will help you as much as we can. We had to have it towed. Thank goodness that we have coverage for that. So we were able to have that towed for free. That did not cost us, but finding a shop was a challenge. It was so early in the morning that places weren't open right away. But then we did call a couple of places and they couldn't get us in for a few days, couldn't even look at it. But then, as God always does for us, he completely provided a shop that ended up blowing our minds. They were able to run diagnostics to give us kind of an idea of what direction we needed to go in. We still had no clue what we were facing, but we also kind of looked at a panic at each other and were like, oh, we don't have a way to go get a rental car. The woman was wonderful. She offered to get somebody to take us over to the rental car place. And then we picked up a car and headed back to the hotel.
All right, time out, time out. I need to share one other thing that Laurie was dealing with during all of this. So I love to shoot archery and shoot 3D tournaments or 3D shoots. And back in May, we went to a local 3D shoot here and I shot the course. Laurie likes to go with me. Well, we were walking in a ton of poison ivy. Laurie ended up getting her very first case of poison ivy she's ever had in her entire life. And it got bad. She was treating it naturally and it just was not getting better.
It was getting absolutely miserable. So one day he was at work. I actually had the car. It was my day off. And I just sent him a message and I was like, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to go over to the urgent care. I'm about to lose my mind. Like, I could just tell it was time. I had been dealing with this at this point for 7.5 weeks. I feel like I fought the good fight. The doctor took one look at me and he said, it's in your bloodstream. That's the reason that you're having this reaction. It's not going to go away. So he gave me steroids topically. He gave me oral steroids. And then I had Zyrtec for the itch relief. I have not taken any pharmaceutical medication for over 10 or 12 years. And I struggled so bad with having to take it. But I did finally take it. And I'm to the point where I'm calmed down quite a bit now.
Okay, so let's talk about the hotel and that whole experience. It was only 1 minute from my work. Took me longer to walk down the stairs of the hotel than it did to drive to work. And we got to eat gluten-free pizza every night. So
for me, my work schedule, I was pretty much stuck at the hotel except for 2 days a week. I was able to go down to the gym, walk on the treadmill every day, kind of got to know the hotel staff, did laundry.
Well, we're finally moving out of the hotel room. It's been 2 weeks that we've been in here. We thought we were only going to be in here for 1 week. Turned into 2 weeks, and we have to move everything out into my work trucks because we don't have our personal truck. It broke down when we were down in Indiana dropping the RV off. So that's still down at the diesel mechanic, and we had to borrow my work trucks to get all this stuff out of here. So just finishing up here and we'll be moving out.
All right, sorry for the air conditioning sound, but we're back in the RV. Slides went out wonderfully, probably the best they ever have since owning this. Like I said the last time we took it for service, they do not care about your stuff. I always check behind slides to make sure that there's nothing obstructing, and they had thrown all of this stuff under here. None, like that was not under there. If I'd opened the slide before checking, then we would have had a huge issue, and we just got this fixed. So a reminder, always check behind your slides before you open them, but also when you're taking your RV in for service, just empty everything out because they don't care about your stuff. And also, like, everything in here is absolutely filthy. Just like last time, we have some major cleanup to do in here. The whole process of moving back in and getting everything clean and set back up took a few hours, but it felt so good to have our home on wheels back after living in a hotel for 2 weeks.
Well, it's 7:30 Saturday morning. We are heading down to Indiana to pick up the truck. They called yesterday afternoon and said it was done. We're excited to get it back. They said it was running great.
When Grand Design had our unit for the water damage, we just thought it was going to be rebuilding the dinette and replacing the paneling behind it. It turned into be something far greater than that, so I'm just going to read the explanation of that. The plug wall is just the longer slide wall with the windows. When they match them up to the end walls, there's an angled portion cut out in the upper corners so everything fits together properly. Yours appeared to be cut a little too far, which is allowing water in the unit. To stop the leak, that wall portion of the slide had to be replaced. So our entire long wall with the big windows had to be pulled out and replaced.
Well, first of all, we do want to say we are so appreciative that Grand Design took our unit, repaired it, all of those major repairs, and then transported it back to Michigan. We are very thankful for that and want to thank Grand Design. On the flip side, the frustration is the wall was not built correctly from the factory. So we took the PTO time and the drive time to take the unit up to Michigan to have it looked at. They couldn't determine the source of the leak. We had to pay
over $250.
$250 for that to end up finding out that it was a manufacturing defect from the start. So that is a bit frustrating, a little disheartening, but it is what it is. We are thankful Grand Design repaired it. Now, as far as the Lippert side of the repairs, we received a 117-page report that documented all of the work that they did. Time will tell, and we will see, based on the limited knowledge I have and from what I can see, everything looks nice. The people that we dealt with were very nice, very professional, and we are thankful for how they handled these repairs.
Yeah, regardless, frame failure is very serious and it's not something to be taken lightly. We're still not taking it lightly. We're still not happy at all about this. And we know that we have a unit that is not going to hold in value because of the frame failure. So also knowing that from what we've heard, these frame repairs are not holding. We're not saying that ours is or isn't going to hold, but we're going to be very, very aware of that because, again, this is very serious. Totaling the expenses for 2025 as full-time RVers with all of this stuff that we had go wrong, especially just in this last month. So the RV to the authorized service center was $365. The hotel stay was $1,763. Fuel to Indiana, $487. Matt had to get a lift to get from the rental car back to the diesel shop. That was $28. Eating out, $393. The truck repair ended up costing $3,800. The rental car was $735. The total for all of that was $7,570. And if you were to add in the hotel costs that we would have needed for the 3 weeks at the beginning of the year, that would have been $2,800. So we're looking at over $10,000, $10,370 for this year. Time out of the RV in 2025, a little over 5 weeks. Time spent driving to and from Indiana, packing up, driving, all of that was over 35 hours. So that's basically a work week. And lost PTO days, we actually lost count between both of us with needing to take time off, whether it was unpaid time off or PTO. We did not communicate with Lippert or Grand Design, but we do want to just disclose that some of the hotel cost was covered. We want to thank the Why Not Wonder community so much, and for those of you who have recently started following us, for your support and your encouragement through all of this. This has been a lot, and it's just meant the world to us to see your comments, to see your support in the way that you've shared our videos and helped us get the word out. So thank you very much for that. Also, we want to thank Jess. Jess reached out to us after she saw our frame failure video, and she actually offered us her RV to live in at no cost for as long as we needed. That was so incredibly kind of you, Jess, and I just can't get over your kindness. So thank you so much for being that person.
Well, that's the ugly truth. And this year has been a year of constant repairs on the RV and on the truck.
We've been able to save through this season that we're currently working. So while we are still going to have to work hard to make up to still pay for some of this, we did have money in savings for a good amount of it. And I'm so grateful for the Lord's provision on that. He totally went before this situation and had already provided financially for us. God is so good. And we are so grateful. This is totally not meant to be a video that shatters your dream of full-time RV life, because there are amazing, amazing moments that happen. You just have to be prepared for the challenges. And that's what we wanted to share in this video, because this was the raw truth of what happened to us. And it has been a challenge.
Well, thank you for watching. And if you want more honest conversations of what this lifestyle is really like, please hit that subscribe button.
Now, get out there and wander.